Welcome to the Resistance Made Easy workshop, designed specifically for clinicians like you, professionals on the front lines of managing HIV. HIV resistance is real, it's evolving, and it's making treatment decisions more complex than ever before. But you're not alone. This workshop is here to support your clinical practice with the latest tools, knowledge, and strategies to stay ahead. Learn how to optimize antiretroviral therapy using real-world approaches. Apply the most up-to-date national and international guidelines with confidence. Understand and manage resistance patterns that challenge even seasoned clinicians. We'll break it all down into practical, case-based insights so you can walk away with skills you can apply immediately in your profession and earn CPD points while doing it. Whether you're new to HIV care or an experienced prescriber, this workshop is about making resistance easier to manage, one patient at a time. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Let's get started.
Recording in progress.
Yes, good evening, colleagues, and welcome to the Clinical Care Platform. It's such a great honor to host you. And today we have, we are launching or starting a very awesome program, the Resistance Made Easy Workshop. And as I start, I would really love to appreciate Abvi for making this initiative very possible. But importantly, I know that without Dr. Leon, we wouldn't have this session. He's been really working with Abvi to really get this awesome initiative to you. And we also have Dr. Julia Turner. Hi, Dr. Leon. Hi, Julia. Are you guys able to hear me?
Hi, Lusejo. Yes, thanks.
Yes, okay, awesome. Yeah, so colleagues, a warm welcome to you. Just to say before we start, you are now on the clinical care platform. We have a mission which is to improve patient care, and we do this by bringing to you evidence-based education that can help you really to always be kept updated, informed, and importantly, to also try to create programs which improve your competency. I saw Dr. Leon is sharing there in the chat a pre-test which you can take so that at the end of this program you can also assess if your knowledge has improved, and that is what we are all about. As a platform, we are a membership-based platform. That means that administrative support, CPDs, certificates will only be made available to people who are active members of this platform. That means you would have subscribed, you would have been contributing to help us to maintain this awesome work that we do all the time. Without wasting a lot of time, I'd like to I think I was speaking alone there. I wanted to say that maybe let me start by introducing Dr. Turner, so that once I introduce Dr. Leon, he can then take over from me to start today's program. You can see, colleagues, we are starting earlier because we have at least two critical sessions to go through. So, yeah, it's such an honor to welcome back Dr. Julia Turner here at the Clinical Care Platform. She is a medical practitioner who specializes in HIV care, public health, and medical education. She is a freelance consultant, but she has done a lot of work in the NGO sector, particularly working for Right to Care as a technical advisor for treatment and care. She has supported the Department of Health nationally as well as specific provinces like in Mpumalanga and Free State. She is on a number of national committees, particularly around the writing of guidelines for both the National Department of Health but also the Southern African HIV Clinicians Society, where she forms as well part of scientific committees, either for their editorial boards or even conferences that they host. She is a reviewer of the Pediatric Infectious Disease Journal and also the Southern African Journal of HIV Medicine, and her interests are in helping us as health workers to always be kept updated, but also not forgetting those that we deliver the care for and various populations out there that she is serving. On the left there, you can see a number of her postgraduate qualifications as well. So welcome to you. And our host is Dr. Leon Levin, who is a specialist pediatrician and HIV clinician with vast experience. I know the profile says 25 years. I can tell you it's probably way more than that. Some of us were trained by him, mentored by him, and we continue to get a lot of wisdom from him. He also worked for Right to Care for a long number of years, supporting nationally but also specific provinces. He was the chair of the pediatric subcommittee of the HIV Clinician Society here in South Africa, and also the convener of what we used to call the I don't know, Leon. We used to have these groups. I think it's the pediatric discussion groups. That is where we learned a lot of pediatric HIV medicine, some of us, but also in terms of various guidelines which have been written for both children, adolescents. But I know also he's involved in the adult ART guidelines, and he is part of the third line ART committee. Today, I present him today as the host of this awesome series. Colleagues, note this is just part one. For the next 3 Tuesdays, we are going to build on what we are going to be doing today. So, on that note, I don't want to waste a lot of time except to officially welcome Dr. Leon on board, and then he will then take us from here. Welcome, Leon.
Thanks, Dr. Lesejo, and welcome to everybody. Let me quickly share my slides with you.
Thank you. Awesome. Colleagues, do share there in the chat from where you are joining. I know there's colleagues who are interested to check colleagues from their regions as to whether they are here. Feel free to type in and say, hey, I'm here. I'm joining from KZN. I'm joining from Lesotho, Malawi, anywhere in the country, so that the colleagues can check if their colleagues are here. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Thanks very much, Dr. Lesejo. I hope you can see my slides, and it's on what's the name mode. Okay.
Yes.
Just these are my disclosures that this is sponsored by AbbVie, and we'd just like to thank AbbVie for the sponsorship. So thanks to thank AbbVie, and I see that Philip Plant is here, and I'd like to thank him so much, and also Amanda Koza, and also to thank other speakers, Dr. Raquel Viana, Dr. Julia Turner, who's going to be speaking tonight, also Dr. Goretti, who lent me some of her slides, and of course, Dr. Lesejo Mawelo for this amazing platform that he continues to run so well. We thank him for all that he does. Okay. And to all of you for attending. So what is this workshop all about? So first of all, before we start, I have put a few times in the chat the pre-quiz. If you haven't done it, please do it. It is anonymous. Okay, we just want to gauge was there an overall improvement or not? So nobody knows how you performed today, and no one's going to know how you performed at the end of this. But if you could just do it, we'd appreciate that. If you have any questions, please type them in the Q&A. Am I correct? The chat's going to be disabled as soon as we get started.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to use the chat until the end.
Yeah.
But everything in the Q&A, including any questions, and Dr. Julius is going to, if there are any questions that you type as we go, she'll answer as we go. And at the end, if there are any left over, I will answer them as well. And the same thing with Dr. Julius' talk later on. Okay, and we'll do the questions both during the presentation as well as afterwards. So what are you hoping to gain from this workshop? Now, I'm pretty certain I should have had a poll. How many people have done this workshop before? We used to do it very frequently. We haven't done it for a while now. I think the last one was in 2024. But a lot of people do keep on coming back to this workshop. Now, I call them repeat offenders. You know, they've been punished once, but they come back again because it's a big information overload. And you definitely do need to come more than once before you can sort of assimilate all the information that you're going to learn. But in addition, there's obviously lots of changes, and every time, literally every time we do this workshop, there are new changes that we have to bring in, and it's not a question of just rehashing and reusing the same slides all the time. Okay, so what are you hoping to gain? So it depends where you are when you come in. If you are really on top of your game in terms of resistance, then we'll hone your skills in interpreting resistance studies and changing regimens, and keep you abreast of what the latest developments are. If not, we'll teach you to use resistance testing to manage your patients. And if not, if you really this is your first exposure, we'll open your eyes to this amazing world of HIV resistance that exists under the skin of our patients, whether we know about it or not, whether we like it or not, or whether we are aware of it or not. Okay, it's going to happen with or without us. And we need to know that it's happening and what we can do to prevent it and what we can do to treat it. So the goals of this workshop are to demystify viral resistance, right? It's not as complicated as people would like us to believe. One of my teachers was Dr. Dave Spencer, and he said at the bottom right there that resistance is like a number plate, okay? You see a number plate, you can know this person comes from Gauteng province in South Africa. Same, you see a mutation, you know this mutation comes from the integrase inhibitor. You don't have to know too much about it. Okay, I don't know exactly where this car comes from, but I know it's from Gauteng, so similar kind of thing. So it's to demystify it, and we'll go through some of the common mutations so that you are actually aware of the common ones. You don't have to know too many to be familiar with the common ones. It's hands-on, it's a practical approach. Obviously, it's changed over the years where we used to have it face-to-face, and now it's done as a webinar. So we'll get a lot more feedback from you through polls and through, I know you guys are very good with using your emojis. So let me see a thumbs up from everybody to see that you've got your thumbs on the emoji button. Oh, I think we need to practice. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's great. Good. Keep them coming. It's how I know that you're awake and that you're responding. And if you're happy, keep them up or give me smiley faces. If you're not happy, then let me know. Okay. So that's how we do it with webinars. We can't do have an small hands-on approach, but we can certainly communicate with each other. So also we value lots of questions and discussions. So please type your questions in the Q&A, and we'll either answer them during my talk or afterwards. Okay, so the first talk that I'm going to give is just a basic introduction to the field, changing antiretroviral therapy for treatment failure. And then later on, Julia is going to talk about the third-line drugs because we need to know what we can use for these patients. And then next week, I'll be talking about second and third-line regimens. And Dr. Julia will be talking about adherence. And the last week, we'll have our virologist, Dr. Raquel Viana, who will be talking about the actual resistance mutations. And then together with that, I will do a practical approach to using the Stanford database to interpret resistance, and we'll finish it off with some fantastic case studies, which puts it all together. So it's a three-week workshop, the next 3 Tuesdays from 6 until 8:30. Okay, so let's get going with the first talk. So with the first reason is, why do people change treatment? For many reasons, but we're going to focus really on failure of the regimen. All right, not toxicity or intolerance or new data, but failure of the regimen, and which can either be virological, meaning the viral load goes up, immunological, the CD4 count goes down, or clinical, the patient gets sick. I think that's fairly straightforward. Right, now, why do people fail their regimens? And this hasn't really changed over the years. Okay, and the number one is definitely going to be poor adherence.
Recording
And
stopped.
and that may or may not lead to viral resistance. It may or may not lead to viral resistance.
Recording in progress.
And so some patients, it will depend on the patients, it will depend on the regimen they're on, whether it leads to the amount of time that they're on, whether it leads to viral resistance or not. Obviously, it's a mother or child. VTP, PMTCT can affect resistance. But then also we get a small but very important group where we have diminished efficacy of the ARVs. And where the patient is taking the treatment, but for various reasons it's not working. For example, malabsorption problems. We've all come across that. Inadequate doses, a child that's growing and they don't increase dosages, increased metabolism, also a pediatric issue, not really a major problem in terms of causing resistance, but it is there. And then your drug-drug interactions, which are pretty important. Obviously, the commonest ones, of course, is TB drugs, but with dolutegravir, we worry about things like, the cations, the 2+ cations, iron, zinc, magnesium, that kind of stuff, reducing the absorption of your dolutegravir and causing